like a rebellion, right? This financial rebellion. Long story short, I reach out to Murad. I have like 120 followers. He hit me up like 2 days later. He's like, yeah, sure, man. When do you want to talk? And it was just like blew my mind. You're fighting battles you don't even know you're up against. It's not just PvP. It's, 50 players versus one player. It's the Cognisphere is having the time of their lives. It's like, isn't it just unbelievable? It's like, even when it looks like the plane's just going right into the sky, dude. It's like you just be flipping through, and it's like, these Spartan videos and the Phalanxes, and I mean, it's just like, we're having the best time.
Hey everyone, this is Southern Fried Chat again here with Unc6900 doing the best spear jugs and the most fun Aeon content out there. How's it going, dude?
Man, I'm doing great. Chad, I finally feel like I'm sitting here in the big leagues for the first time, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're too nice to say that, man. So why did you get into SPX 6900?
It's really funny because I'm not, a crypto guy per se. I've bought pump and dumps and, tried to buy Bitcoin and
Sure.
cashed out. I just, it was just never really my thing. Kind of when you get into that PvP, I love playing poker. I love athletics, right? It was kind of this competitive thing. And as I kind of got into this meme coin trading game from, a place where, I wasn't familiar. I just tried to dive in and learn.
Sure.
And it was like, the more I learned, it's like, man, we don't really have a chance, right?
Hmm.
Like it's so, you're fighting battles you don't even know you're up against. There's, it's not just PvP, it's, 50 players versus one player. And kind of got to the point where, I realized I wasn't making money, right? And, to be honest, the first time I ran across SPX 6900, I just truly believed it was that like it embodied, almost, it's like a rebellion, right? This financial rebellion. And the story made sense, right? It was like in my head, it was an unbelievable sales pitch, right? It was something that made sense to me. And, it just kind of went from there. And I've kind of been, I've been DCAing, again, I'm not good at the daily stuff because I get paid and I'm just like, boom, and I just blow the whole paycheck on it. But yeah, I've been into it now for, I guess, about 6 months. So, I mean,
Nice.
I was definitely there when we hit the high, and I've been just kind of riding along, cruising with the Cognisphere ever since.
Awesome. So what got you into it, I guess? Was it Murad or was it something else that you saw?
Yeah, so I listened to the Murad talk, and it's kind of a familiar story, right?
Sure,
It
yeah.
was kind
Yep.
of that's the genesis, and with him, I'll tell you a really funny story actually, right? So I had really taken the deep dive into the SPX thing, and I was
Mm.
sitting on there and being keyboard warrior and all this stuff, and long story short, I reach out to Murad. I have like 120 followers, and
Hmm.
I'm like, hey man, I have some questions. Not in a million years thinking I'd ever get a response from him.
Right.
And he hit me up like 2 days later. He's like, yeah, sure, man. When do you want to talk? And it was just like blew my mind,
That
right?
is
I was like,
crazy.
and so, I haven't even told anyone this, right? So, Murad gave me a half hour of his time. And for me, it was like, picking the brain of Michael Saylor 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And, ever since I talked with him, it really just confirmed my belief, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really was kind of that final thing where I was like, you know what, I'm all in on this now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so shout out to Murad. That was super awesome, and it's just super cool that a guy like that I know, a lot of us, a lot of the crypto community looks up to,
Yeah.
that he would take the time to have a conversation with such a little guy like me. It was really impressive and spoke to his character as well.
Yeah, yeah, that is amazing. I haven't heard taking that much time, but I mean, he always tries to support people, even when, especially when they first get started. Like if they start posting, and he'll try to retweet something or show support in any way, which I think is really good. I mean, considering he's our biggest character at this point.
Right, right. And you know, it's funny because even, you know, in a position where I'm not a content guy, I never have been any kind of a
Okay.
creator type at all, right? And yeah, it was really nice because I do feel like that was kind of like that last check. Like, you know what? I'm on the right train. I'm on the right team. You know, and starting at the very top. I mean, you know, I know we like to talk about this, you know, it's a decentralized movement and this and that and call it what it is. But, you know, for me, right, like Murad is the leader of the group, whether or not, you know, he, you know, carries the crown per se.
Right.
And yeah, I love being in a project where I know that's the type guy up top.
Well, it's kind of like you know, with Bitcoin's got Sailor. I mean, he's the number one guy for Bitcoin right now.
Hmm.
Eventually, it'll probably be somebody else, and it'll pass along, and there will always be. I mean, there's always different leaders as time goes on. But yeah, Murad's definitely number one at this point for sure. Um, so I was actually that brings me to another question. I was going to ask you about if you were a content guy before, and it sounds like you weren't. So
Yeah, so I had, you know, it kind of on this quest, and it's funny, kind of how I hit the SPX, kind of where you know my ideas kind of met SPX was. You know, maybe, I don't know, 6, 8 months ago, I had tried to start a little channel, and the whole concept was it was going to be centered around men's mental health, right?
interesting.
And basically, what my idea was I thought I could get a group big enough to where, you know, eventually we start a 501(c)(3 and say, hey, you know, why don't we create, you know, a quote unquote man ranch, if you will, that basically, you know, men going through, you know, any kind of issues, struggling with mental health, wanted, you know, that kind of camaraderie, we'd actually have a place to go to, right?
Interesting.
Um, and obviously, you know, it's a big idea,
Hmm.
and it didn't get a lot of traction with it. But it's funny because that idea in meeting SPX, that's kind of where it bridged in my head. Like, wait a minute, you know, this provides exactly what I was trying to provide with what I was doing. It's just, you know, the Cognisphere is huge. It's basically something that, you know, I was thinking of, not in, you know, the lines of a one-off of crypto.
Yeah, it gives you like an audience to tap into to express those ideas.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you know the thing is too, and again, I'm just not an internet guy, right? I've got
Hmm.
like I'm basically a boomer, you know. It's like I've
That's all
got
right.
a you know Facebook, you know, I've got like 8 followers on
Wait,
Instagram.
I mean, you had me fooled. I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, you make great stuff. It's very entertaining.
Oh no, I super appreciate that. But yeah, I'm so far removed, you know, and I'm still diving into this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, but I, you know, and I told Nick this in a conversation. I learned at a young age, you know, I've always tried to be the dumbest person in the room, you know, at least after college, right? Like I'm very, very comfortable being the idiot in the room, right? And you know, that's another thing about this community. It's like, God, man, there's just some brilliant minds that are in this Cognisphere. I mean, it's fascinating to just sit there and just listen, you know, and you kind of realize, you know, at least me, I'm like, man, I can't understand half this, but I'm on their team, you know?
Yeah. No, you're definitely true. Yeah, we have some very smart people. The polymetric talk at the beginning of the conference was extremely impressive. And I think having people like that is really important because it adds legitimacy and it shows people who are, you know, of higher status or however you want to put it. Like, hey, this is not just a stupid whatever meme coin. It's much more beyond that.
Right. Yeah. No, I thought that was a great talk. Dr. Jesse's talk. I mean, everyone there,
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah.
It was
Dr.
a
Jesse great.
great. Yeah. I mean, it was honestly, and it was great to listen to. I wish I was there. I will be at the
Well,
next one.
yeah, we're gonna do more. There's gonna be more. I mean, I think it's gonna ramp up, and there's a lot to learn from that one, and yeah, I think it'll be cool to see how next year how that unfolds. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, it's funny, man. I see a world where in 5, 10 years, it's on Fire Festival type levels.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
think it's totally possible.
yeah, I already see that, you know. Um, yeah.
I mean, the Bitcoin conferences are huge too, but I think with us, we would make it way more fun and interesting than just like a
Yeah,
boring
yeah,
Bitcoin conference.
yeah. And I think what's so great about SPX is we are a social network. like, the Bitcoiners still, at least, for me, right?
Mhm.
It's like, I don't really know who they are, right? It's like they're not out there. They're not really trying to build bridges and do A, B, and C. They're just kind of the OGs that are kind of sitting on, nuggets of gold.
Yeah,
Whereas,
pretty much.
we're kind of always evolving, and we actually have faces to the project, and I think that's really cool. Especially in a world where I know one of the big conversations around Bitcoin right now is, it's kind of the use it or lose it type thing, where they want more transactions and stuff to be more Bitcoin friendly. And I think that we're going to be able to do that at a faster rate. I think we scale faster as far as future payments in SPX versus kind of the familiarity with Bitcoin, because it's just thought of as a kind of that digital gold.
Yep. Yep, for sure. I think the tipping culture is important to that, and just promoting the usage of SPX whenever you can, I think is good. And the other thing that we have, an advantage we have over Bitcoin, is we're on any network, potentially any crypto network, also on centralized exchanges as well, which is good for adoption. So in some ways, we're more flexible than Bitcoin. Um,
Yeah, it
Sorry, go ahead.
it yeah. Oh no, I agree 100%. I think another beauty of the SPX, at least for me, I missed the Bitcoin train. I watched it. I watched that thing go all the way up to the top of the mountain over my life, and I just missed it every single time, right? And I think almost the FOMO of missing out on Bitcoin if you're a newbie, it's almost gone because it seems like it's so high,
Mhm.
even though I know it's going to go, whatever people say, it'll be $10 million one day, which I, probably will, right?
Yeah, eventually,
But
yeah,
I feel like we have the energy to kind of capture the real FOMO right now. Like, this is the next big thing. This is
yeah,
the next big idea. And, it's not $100 a coin or $200 a coin yet. It's still, free
yeah, yeah.
for really, when you think about it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting if you're a Bitcoiner and you are sitting on a pile of Bitcoin, which Murad is one of those people. He sees an opportunity to make more Bitcoin essentially because it's like we're early in our network adoption. So, and it's clearly growing. And I mean, there's no other meme coin that had an event like we did just recently, for example, and just all the people who are so excited about it.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I like, again, because I kind of look at this as a kind of a strategist, right? Almost
Mhm.
like, you're kind of battling other coins, if you want to call it that. And, I like that it seems that everybody tries to rub off of what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're not,
definitely true.
we're not over there trying to do something that another coin's doing. They're all trying to do what we're doing. And so that's, again, it's just made me to where, I'm very comfortable saying, it's like I've told people before, I'm a maxi. I don't, I am, and it's
Yeah,
like, if I buy anything, I think of it as gambling. Nothing more,
yeah,
nothing less.
yeah.
It's just like betting on a football game. And for whatever reason, that degeneracy doesn't seem to exist. Like I said, I just put my whole savings account in SPX and feel good about it.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I love that. There's a lot of people who are like you. A lot of people have that same sentiment. And every new dollar I have goes into SPX. I can say that for sure. And it's exciting, especially in this price range. It's very exciting to get as much as I can.
Mhm. What do you think are you one of the guys that kind of, is into the cycle and the global liquidity, and it's just not there for retail right now? Like, or do you see us hitting a stall? Like, is there something we can do as a community? Um, other than, we're sitting there, we're trying to onboard, we're doing these events, right? We're,
Mhm.
we're, doing our thing on Twitter. You know, what do you see accelerates this movement?
I honestly think what we're doing now is kind of like building Bedrock for whenever we do get liquidity back and we do get a not a crap market, we're gonna
Yeah.
fly. That's the way I see it right now. It's like we're just building the foundation where when people are interested again in crypto, they're gonna look, okay, which one do I want to buy? They're gonna say, oh, this got an event. Oh, there's this guy. There's that. You see what I'm saying? And then they're going to
Hmm.
choose us, and then
Yes.
and then that's going to start a flywheel effect with the price. So I think that's what we're doing right now is just preparing for the next wave of people that are going to come eventually. And I think
Yeah.
that will happen when we finally see good action. Because I mean, price has drives a lot of eyeballs to crypto. The fact
Yeah.
that we're where we are is our competitors, if you want to call it that, are meme coins. That's our competitors, and we're holding up better than Shiba did, and that's a cycle before. We're holding up better than Pepe did in terms of where it drew down in March. We're holding up the best of any meme coin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we're just building bedrock for when that interest in the market comes back,
Yeah.
which I think will be sometime next year. Personally, I think the 4 year cycle is dead. That's my opinion, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
That's what, yeah. And I'm, I'm a layman in a lot of this stuff. I try to read and try to understand things,
Sure.
but I think I'm on that train too. I think that, I think everything's been kind of designed over the last couple of years to kind of suppress a lot of stuff, a lot of price.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that there's a lot of incentives in these 2026 midterm elections. And in my opinion, you have to have
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
ripping. You have to. If it's
Yes.
not, then the Republicans lose control and they just can't have that. Right. And
Right.
so I think, if Bitcoin's not ripping, if the economy's not ripping, if gas isn't cheap, and I think that they understand, you know, especially American voters. I mean, we have goldfish brains. We're not going to remember what
Yeah.
Bitcoin was in December, of next year. We're not. And so I think that, it feels as though everything's been designed to where when you take that
To
snapshot
stretch
in
it
late
out.
20,
Right.
yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, and I kind of I agree for sure. And the American president, American economy drives a lot, is a big driver of these assets. And another big bullish catalyst I think will happen is the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will leave
Oh,
in May.
yes. It almost seems like he's just a psyop guy, right? It's like, dude, like I've never met, there's not a man on earth that if a camera is live on him, every market just seems to just shit the bed. It's like, really? And it's so funny. Yeah, it just feels like that's the guy, right? That's the guy that's really pushing this thing down.
He's
And
definitely not
and
helping, that's for sure.
he's definitely not helping. No, man. No, I
um,
uh, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I'll tell you the other thing, man, is and again, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I'm bartending right now, and
sure.
apparently, right, if you have a bunch of bartenders, service worker industries in the country, and we're getting a significant tax return for the first time ever, um, and they're talking about these stimulus checks, I just
Yep.
think it's just a recipe for crypto to just rip. I just don't think there's money out there, man. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
just
100%.
it's
And the fact we're chilling here is, I that's bullish to me because once it comes back, it's I don't know where it goes, but it's going to rocket off. It's going to be crazy.
no, I
Um,
think so. Yeah.
yeah, that's all these events and all these things. I don't think it's necessarily going to have an immediate impact, but it's going to have an impact over time. And when people are now, if we'd have done that conference when everything was ripping and roaring, it might would have had an immediate effect because
Mhm.
everybody's paying attention more. But just having those events and all that again, like whenever people are coming back to potentially choose an investment, that's going to help that, if you know what I mean. Just keeping the community going.
Yeah. And what's funny too, and I know, people talk about this, but it's a really real thing. It's the Cognisphere is having the time of their lives. Like, isn't it just unbelievable? It's like even when it looks like the plane's just going right into the side of a mountain, dude. It's like you just be flipping through, and it's like these Spartan videos and the phalanxes, and I mean, it's just like we're having the best time, right? It's like no one really cares because I think that the people that are involved in this, at least kind of putting their faces out there. It's like I'm speaking for myself. It's like I really believe in this idea. Like this isn't like I'm serious. I really believe in it. And if you really believe in it, then I don't care what the price is right now.
Yeah, well, and it's I mean, and I mean, it's a good thing, really. It allows you to get more, and it's a distribution going on. Some people, I look at it whenever it goes down. That means people who didn't really believe in it are leaving. People who do believe in it are getting more coins, which is a good thing. That's just how crypto works generally. But yeah, there's a price action. It's always fun when it goes up. It's preferable. It makes you feel better. But I think we're building the bedrock, and the fact we're having enjoying ourselves when everybody else is crying, that says a lot. So
I know. Is it? You know, it's so funny. I tell you, I get paid every 2 weeks, right?
okay,
And so it's so funny, and I hate to say this, I really do. Like, I hope it goes to $1 billion a coin, but I'm not even mad when there's a 10% dip, and it's like Thursday night, and I'm
yeah,
thinking, yes,
go.
more coins, more coins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's going to be. I think we're gonna have a hell of a 26. I think it's going to go through 27. I don't think it actually gets bearish again, like in any legitimate way, till 28. That's mostly according to a guy I listen to who's a macro strategist. His name's Tech Dev. If anybody's interested, he's got some pretty good work on it. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm bullish, but I am a little bit of a perma bull, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. It's better than living life as a doomer, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely right. What's that saying? Optimistic people get rich. Pessimistic people sound smart.
Yeah, no,
So it better be
it's true.
optimistic. I mean, and I know we have the best meme coin. Like it's just so obvious to me. It's just so
I think so
obvious.
too. I mean, it's unbelievable to me how, you can literally just live in the Cognisphere. You can
Yeah, it's
literally
crazy.
just sit on Twitter and just follow our guys, and it's like I'm entertained. I don't need to bounce around. I don't, and the positivity is just contagious. I
Yeah.
think that's one of our strongest assets is like you can be a jackass chugging beer, but if you're on Team SPX, it's like it's like you got your people, right? It's like you can really be whatever you want to be in this.
Nick
And it's
loves you,
like,
man.
yeah, it's like I was talking to Jesse, Dr. Jesse
Yeah.
earlier, and the variance between it's like I told him, I said, I'm fine just being the crazy uncle in the Cognisphere, right? It's like, and it's like no one really takes him serious. He's over there, he's just, but
Crazy.
he's like the crazy uncle, it's like you have to have him in the group, right? And it's the same thing. It's like if I, that's my pink haired cousin. Like that's just like, yeah, like that's my cousin. What are
Yeah,
you
that's a
doing?
good way to think about it. Yeah, I
And
love that.
in between those two archetypes, I mean, it's like, dude, everyone's in the middle of that, and it's
Yep.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah. You and Jesse, for me, since I've been in, you and Jesse in particular, have stood out as more uh, normie friendly. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah,
Like very like normal aesthetic and how you present your content and that sort of thing. And I think that's great because we need more of that. We need people who are, not super crypto-y, which is we have plenty of that, and it's good. It's good to see more and more regular, and I don't mean that in an offensive way, but like regular type people into it.
yeah, no, I agree, and it's funny because Jesse and I. I'm not letting the cat out of the bag yet, but Jesse and I we're working on something behind the scenes right now that kind of addresses just that, right?
Awesome.
And kind of what I've realized is when you're pitching normies, right? Like let's me, I'm in the middle of Texas. I've lived in a lot of states, right? But I'm pretty I'm pretty familiar with quote unquote middle America.
Hey,
Um,
you're a bartender too. I mean, that's a good
yeah,
way to
right,
go.
right.
Yeah.
And I think the average person, and we'll be very stereotypical, right? The average Midwestern person that's not into crypto, I believe that if it's your grandma or your grandpa or your cousin, I believe that that person's more likely to buy into the idea, buy X amount, and just not touch it.
Yep.
Whereas, it's like, what are we fighting for, attracting crypto traders,
I
right?
agree.
It's like,
I agree.
so that's really what I'm focused on. That's there's a lot of things I can't do, but you know we're selling an idea, right? It's not I try to stay away from the word crypto is almost like a four-letter word, in a lot of these
Yes.
communities.
Yes.
outside of, super hip cities, right? Or tech cities or tech bros.
Yeah, I was actually making that point on Saturday night. We went out to eat, and I was talking to Taylor. You know Taylor, the girl who runs. She does more.
Hmm.
She's another standout, normal kind of content.
Hmm.
So she was talking about it, and I said, "Yeah, don't even mention crypto if you're ever talking to somebody about it. Just say SPX 6900. This is the investment. Don't even mention the word crypto. You don't have to talk about it because it's like Bitcoiners also have that saying, "It's Bitcoin, not crypto," and I agree with that.
Hmm.
With SPX, I think that's how people should do it. Another reason why I say that is if you're talking about like a website, say you're really into Amazon or eBay or whatever it may be, that uses a lot of internet to make it work. You don't say I love the website Amazon. I love the website eBay. You don't say it that way. You say I love Amazon. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's
Right.
that
Yep.
we just have blockchain helps power us, but that's only one. That's only the technical component. It's really
Yes.
you don't in normal whenever you're talking about anything else, you don't go into all the technicalities of how something
Right.
works. That's
Right.
so I just avoid the
And
word.
yeah, and it's like, how much time I've wasted in my life, right? Trying to understand some of these crypto bitches. Like, yeah, right? It's like, and I'm not trying to pick on it, but it's like trying to figure out XRP. It's like
Yeah.
I've listed this for freaking 6 years now. I mean, I remember like this, and it was, well, when Swift does A, B, and C, and this is going to happen, and we get this deal signed, and then Congress, like,
Yes.
it's just a bunch of it's a story, right? It's a
Yeah.
story that a layman can't really put together. Versus, hey man, we're going to put all our money in this pile because we don't like what the banks have done. We don't like this. We don't like that. And so we're basically just going to team up and create our own hedge fund, right?
Pretty much.
And it just makes sense,
Yeah.
and
We're doing our own thing. Fuck all the other stuff.
we're just, that's it. Yeah, like we're taking our balls, yep, and we're going to another sandbox to play.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
mhm.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. And I love the flip the stock market narrative. I love that, but I also now the more I get into it, I'm just like kind of like what you just said. We're just a network of people growing, under
Mhm.
this banner, under this idea. And it's more important to me the community aspect of it more and more. But I think once you get it, you have to kind of hear it from if you're first getting into it, the aesthetic of flip the stock market, all that awesome fuck the system stuff. I think that
Yeah,
helps you get into it. But eventually, you're just like, I just like the community and the network, and
yeah,
all the other stuff is like aesthetics to it almost.
yeah. No, and it's funny, right? Because it's like the first cryptocurrency. It's sexy. It's sexy. It's like no, we're kumbaya on the internet, right? But deep down, it's like no, there's a real mission.
Yes.
There's a real mission, and it's rebellious, right? It's provocative.
Yeah.
It's something that you know, like yeah, it's just it's different. It's
Yep.
different, and it's funny too. I've kind of had these conversations too, and flip the stock market, right? But I think the thing that I'm really thinking about is how do we start taking actionable steps, right? Like because it's a monstrous target, right?
Yes.
It's so huge, that's the joke, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do believe that, yeah, like
It's a joke till it's not. Maybe we'll
it's a
see.
joke. No, you're exactly right. And that's the thing is, how do we start rolling this ball? Like, I've really been brainstorming on, almost decentralized treasuries with small businesses, things like this, right? How can we make it? Because small business, there's, obviously there's a lot of money in American small business. And, at the end of the day, it's like they're against the 500 too, right? So it's how do we partner with these businesses these mom and pop shops all over the country, and kind of take it that way, right? How do we build our army out, that, isn't signing a deal with Walmart, which and I've been out about this, right? I'm against. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like that for SPX. I think it's about starting at the ground and working our way up,
Mhm.
not from the top bottom.
Mhm.
And again, I mean that's one idiot's opinion,
Mhm.
but I think we'll be much more successful. And we've kind of talked about it. Jesse actually talked about it a little bit with the AI company that had talked about coming in
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
But I think and to me, like an AI company sounds huge, right? I think the bread and butter could be, the small mom and pop pizza shops, the small mom and pop, hamburger places, ice cream places, things like that. I
Right.
think that's a groove we could just hammer as a community.
I think it's. I mean, I think all avenues make a lot of sense. I think it, to like try to make that actionable. I think it would be Aeon's going to stores and talking about it. Because if you converted an owner who say maybe like you said owns an ice cream shop or something like that, and they get converted and believe in SBX, then they'll start DCAing SBX with profits and so on.
Mhm.
So I think that's probably the most actionable way, but I don't know. There might be better thoughts there, but I mean I think it's a great idea because they're yeah the 500 has definitely fucked them over the most. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
like
definitely they're nobody's friend. Like,
yeah. The 500, I mean, they've done so much damage. It's incredible. They've crushed small businesses. So I mean, I think that is a good angle for sure. What okay, so a lot of people don't have the courage to do the kind of style of content that you do. Is that just in your nature, or what gives you that confidence?
I don't even know if it's confidence. I think it's just how I feel like I can help the community, right? Like, and I think this is what's funny, and I think it all ties back into mental health and all of these things. Like, you know, um, I don't know how confident I am, right? I don't. I think I'm that confident in the community that surrounds me and supports me, and so I can maybe be a jackass, but I'm not the type guy. Like I've never sang karaoke, right? I'm not.
Mm.
I'm not the type guy that is really that comfortable doing things outside of my kind of my groove. And so, to be honest, it's like I think that SPX is what gives me the confidence
Wow.
to do that.
Okay.
And again, is that how I am in real life? Absolutely, that's how I am. I just, if you told me to do it in front of a camera, I would just, I would be much more shy in a different situation. I guess is the best way.
So before, if we would have said, "I'm gonna shoot you beer, chugging beer just for the hell of it," you'd have been like, "Get away from me! I'm not doing that."
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right. But
Yeah.
this is content for SPX and people enjoy it. Okay, I'll make it. So,
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah,
oh, okay, I
100%.
see what you're saying. No, that's cool. That's powerful because I thought, oh, maybe he's made social media stuff before and he's like used to doing this, but to hear that you really haven't that's bullish to me. That means it inspired you to do it. SPX
Yeah,
did.
no, and that's just why I've encouraged people so much, right? It's I think we all need to get out there and do it. Again, it's like I'm not comfortable. I hate it. I don't know lighting. I don't know angles. I don't know color schemes. I don't know anything. I don't, right? But I know how to have fun. I can show you I'm having a good time,
Well, that's
right?
perfect.
Like, and so I wish and we've had some gardening videos. I want everything,
Yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
what do we do as aeons, as individuals that we can just kind of look at each other. I want to scroll through my Twitter and see what Chad cooked for dinner, or
Yeah.
your lawn, or a sports game you're at, or name it, right? It never ends because it's all part of our decentralized social network.
Right. Yeah, and I think some people are better than that than others, and I think that's growing too. I've seen I can't remember her name, but she's done some yoga videos for SPX. There's an account called Tori. They do like a martial arts video every single day, which is pretty cool.
The dude that swings
Yeah,
all the
all the
nuts.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh
crazy.
man, you talk about multi-talented, dude. There's like 12 objects I wouldn't trust that guy with in front of me, dude. No way.
Yeah, so I think we're seeing more and more of that, and Nick is a good example of just doing whatever, you know. So I think it's growing, man.
Yeah, shout out to Nick. I saw a picture where yeah, he was he was out there in Miami for sure, man. I wish I was out there feeling as good as Nick was in Miami, man.
At 1%, Caesar and Grill Ape, they were at the club. Oh my god! I thought 1% was so crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, he's another guy I talked to behind the scenes. Shout out 1%. But he's been great.
Yes,
He's just such a positive dude. Like he's
he's.
just such a positive guy. Like it's contagious. It's like that's what I want to surround myself with.
Oh yeah,
And I just feel like our community's filled with people like that.
yeah,
Like in this world, right? You have a choice of who you hang out with, who you surround yourself with, and it's like, over some time, it's like I think just more and more people are going to try and leave that kind of negative, internet world and fall into the cognisphere because it's just a happier,
yeah,
it's just a happier existence online.
yeah. I think it uplifts people, and it makes people inspired to do something. I've said this before. I wanted to do a YouTube channel before in the past for various means. Never gained any traction or anything, and just to have something I can do that people like and enjoy is really cool. So I think that's the best opportunity for people, and from my perspective, is finding something that they enjoy doing it, and it gives them extra fulfillment utilizing it for SPX. That's like the ideal scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's powerful too. It's like a lot of these personal journeys, right? It's like, like 1%,
Yeah. Yep.
like Sidewalk, forget her name, right?
Taylor. Yeah.
Taylor,
Yep.
right? Like it's inspiring. And I don't think it can be overstated how inspiring that is, but I think they probably tell you that having SPX kind of in the background, right? It's motivating. I'm sure, I know 1% feels that way,
Oh yeah.
where, he doesn't want to skip workouts. He won't cheat on his diet, right? And it's kind of the community. Kind of holds you accountable to what you say you're going to do, right?
Yep.
And not that they hold you accountable in some, whip cracking way, right? But it's just kind of like, yeah, I've got a community. It doesn't really matter how I feel. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what the community expects out of me. So I'm just going to do it.
It raises the stakes. Like it makes you when you put it out there, it makes you want to do it more because it's like, okay, now it's public and everybody knows, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I have to.
no, I kind of have to give a shit about whatever I just said. So, which is good. I think that's the cool thing too about this conference. It was kind of like blurted out, and then it just kept being blurted out, and then we finally started kind of organizing it, and eventually it came together. With SBX, it seems like if you just start saying something, people just start. It just starts bubbling up, and it happens eventually.
Yes.
This is which is cool.
Uh-huh. No, it's just funny. It's like the possibilities are just really endless, man. I didn't, the first time I'd been into this and I heard, Murad talk about the mind virus, right?
Mm,
And I heard it the first time and it kind of went in one ear out the other,
sure.
and as you start kind of sinking in a little bit, you're like, oh my, it's totally infiltrated everything, right? It's like it's become the number one mission. And it's like, and I feel like there's a lot of people that feel the exact same way.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's so cool that we have people from all over the world and all different backgrounds that are it's that one mission. I mean, it's
Yep.
I don't think there's anything that's ever compared to it. I mean, it's totally taken over, my thoughts for sure. And like I said, I couldn't be happier. I found SBI.
Awesome. Yeah. The other cool thing is like if you ever went to London, for example, there's like five people you could like meet up with and hang out with, which is really Seb would be amazing to hang out with, and all those guys. So that's another cool thing about it.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to grow more and more and more, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I've talked to a guy that lives, a couple hours from me. I
Right.
know 1% did the same thing, linked up with a guy up in Seattle.
Hmm.
But I think those real world connections, even if it's just meeting for dinner or drinks or whatever it may
Yeah.
be, and getting that content, right?
Yeah.
And the more and more that we can show that, yes, we have a very, very strong online presence, but there is a real human connection to it too. There is kind of the thought that, it's fun on the internet, but yes, we do have another meetup in person. And I think having things like that to look forward to as a community is something that will attract more and more people. And I think it'll just, create more and more diamond hands that really buy into the movement and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and that Earth that Ilya's made, SPX6900.Earth, where it shows everybody on the globe. That's a great way to start if you're like, I wonder if there's anybody near me. Most people kind of tell kind of where they are, so it's pretty cool to. Then you can try to link up with them. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, these guys are so cool. It's like, yeah, stuff like that. It's like,
yeah,
oh, I've strolled the globe,
yeah,
and you're like, yeah,
it's neat.
yeah. It's it's awesome. Yeah, I love it. And I think what's so funny is we're still just so early,
Yes,
right? It's like I know there's these like huge ideas that we have, right? But it's understanding that 220 230,000 people in the world is it's nothing,
right,
right?
right.
And as this number grows and grows and grows, and that network kind of begins to fill itself in,
Yep.
I think it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be amazing. And I really spend a lot of the time, right? It's like, where is it going? Where's
Hmm.
it going? I've talked to people about this before, but it's like, what happens when you have 10 million, US holders and we're a social network?
Yep.
Like, is now we're instantly bigger than the Teamsters Union. So, what comes with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting.
And I agree. And a lot of the holders we have are I would say more passive. So which I mean I'm glad they hold, but my number one goal with this YouTube channel is to get people who maybe are kind of into it or maybe own a little, not really be into it, or the people who are really into it to help grow that conviction. That's always been my goal with this channel is to people who hold XBX to get want to do more, basically, to get people more interested and more convicted. Because I think having one person like you or somebody else who's really convicted and doing stuff and doing cool stuff is to me way more valuable than 50 people who are just kind of passively holding some. Because one person who's that convicted doing stuff will bring in hundreds of people over time.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And I mean I think we have the same mission, right?
Yep,
It's how can we bring people into this thing, and
exactly.
and you've taken over the top dog. I like I said, man, you're already in the big leagues in this community, which is it's been awesome. Like I said, it's kind of surreal. I'm even talking to you, right?
Dude, that's so.
Um,
I've somebody said that in Miami. I was like, I can't even process that, but I do appreciate it.
yeah, you're an SPX celebrity, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh well, that makes me feel good. But and I honestly just started it. I didn't even know if I was going to do it long. I just started it one day. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to talk to this guy, and then I just started doing it every week, and here we go. If you'd have told me like a year ago would I be at an SPX conference, I would have laughed at you. I didn't think I'd ever do that. You know what I mean? And much less live streaming it and like being a part of it more than just being there. So it was. I never would have ever thought that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
SPX, it's a funny old world, man. Funny old world.
Yeah, man, for sure. Um, so we're talking about the future a bit. What are some of these crazy ideas that you have? Like, where do you see maybe the movement going in say 10 years?
Well, I mean, if we're starting our way, if we're starting out there, right?
Yeah,
I could see a world where we're negotiating health insurance programs. I could see a world where I mean, I could see a world where we are an in-house network for a lot of things. I could see, everything. I could see us acting as a union in 10 years. I could see a lot of stuff, right?
interesting. Yeah,
And at the end of the day, um, yeah, I think this could be a massively powerful movement. And I also think it is almost, it's, I thought about this a lot, right? And I'm going to circle back. I'm going to circle back to Murad because I think this kind of plays to how my brain processes this, right? I know people sit and they go, oh, well, if he ever touches his wallet and da 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 da,
Hmm.
then the whole coin will collapse and this and that. But, when I sit here and I think about, game theory and, and again, I don't know Murad, right? But if you believe in this project and you believe it's going to $1 trillion, I think that, Murad has this, there's a route for him to be one of the most, influential people literally on planet Earth. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that if we continue to ride this train in the direction it's going, and this does become a $1 trillion asset, and I don't know how long it takes, right? 10, 15, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I think instantly, he has, almost worked his way up to, like a religious leader, if you will. I know that's, not the best analogy, but I think he could be literally one of the most powerful people, like a Bezos or a Musk.
Yeah, that's where my mind went to, like a thought leader, maybe a better.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. And so, with that, I just that's where I see it. That's where I see this whole train going. Is if this becomes $1 trillion asset, then everything changes. We're not just some people screaming into the void about flipping the 500. Like,
Yeah.
right? It's like there's actual power that will be held in our community,
Yep.
and the way it goes, and what we decide as a community, what route to go, or what it's going to look like. I'm not sure, but I do think, and here's the other thing. I've gone down a couple Grok rabbit holes, and Grok talks about post nation states.
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
and I think this could be one of those movements that is truly a post-nation state that
Yeah.
outlives governments.
Oh, I
Um,
agree. Yes, that's the same way with any religion. It's the same thing with any big idea, any organization of any, like Boy Scouts, for instance. It's not. It's going to outlive forever, but it's smaller. I think we have the possibility. I think there's a bigger market there than just however many people are in that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's something that can continue to grow and thrive forever, potentially.
yeah, and I think the other thing too that's wild about this, maybe for the first time in history, is we're decentralized. It's almost like we're fighting a battle with no weapons, right? It's like literally, we're an enemy you can't kill, right? It's
Yeah.
like we're everywhere. We're we're
Yeah.
we're not on the ground. We're not. No, it's like we're everywhere. We're all over the world, and you can't stop this movement. There's nothing, you could shadow ban, you can do everything you want to do, but as the Cognisphere grows, it's like that's all that really matters. You can shadow ban us all you want, but once that movement kind of hits that tipping point, it won't matter because,
Yeah.
again, we'll just become our own bigger and bigger and bigger social network.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then to your point, we'll, like, say we hit $1,000 a coin. Yeah, we'll have way more wealth, way more influence, and so on. But even as we get bigger, so we hit $5, $10 a coin, that means everyone's wealth is 10x, 20x, or whatever. We'll be able to do bigger and cooler things as we grow. So it's not going to be scrappy to ginormous. It's going to be interesting to see the evolution of the
Yeah.
events and the different cool stuff. Is it's going to go from scrappy to
And,
bigger,
and
bigger.
and that's what's funny too, right? It's like, yeah, like that exact same situation. It's like we're all broke. I know we don't look at charts, right? But
Sure.
like, man, you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
And but right, you know, but at the end of the day, we just had, an event in Miami, right?
Right.
Yeah. What does it look like when the market's just ripping and we say, hey man, let's all go meet in Hawaii. Let's all go then what's it gonna look like?
Let's put on
And
something massive. Yeah.
yeah, no, I like I said, I could see Fire Festival type vibes in the future for
It could
sure.
happen, man. It could happen. Or yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. It's just I don't know. It could get crazy. I'm looking forward to it. I think it will get crazy. Actually, it's just we'll see what people can concoct and create.
Yeah, it's man, it's wild the things that pop up, you know. But the Earth, the meme creators, shout out to Jordan.
Oh
I
yeah.
was hoping I got the Matrix. I ordered the Matrix one, but it hadn't come in yet. I was
Oh
hoping
man,
I'd have it for this one.
darn.
Um, but yeah, man, I got my onboarding cards. I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm a walking, talking SPX 6900 billboard.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I annoy most people in my life, but I don't care. Like I said, I'm an old door-to-door salesman, man. You gotta you
Well,
gotta ask for
it
that.
comes
You gotta
natural
ask
for you
20
then.
times. Oh yeah, yeah. It's not selling if you really believe you're helping the person, right?
That's
It's like,
true.
sir, I'm not gonna leave your front porch until you buy this Tupperware set because your wife's gonna love it.
That's hilarious. Oh man, that's great. We talked about this a little bit, but what are some other like ideas or opportunities? Let's go back to now, not the future,
Yep.
but ideas or opportunities we can maybe take advantage of that maybe we aren't currently, or maybe we are a little bit, but could lean more into.
Well, the things I've thought of are, um, I for me, it's how do we get SPX in front of people with money? Okay. And I was a select baseball coach for years. It's an old baseball player, select coach, which is a whole nother subject. But long story short, that's turned into, a racket, right? I mean, select baseball is very, very expensive sport.
Interesting.
And so, I've thought about things like, sponsoring teams, right? Sponsoring SPX
Oh
teams,
yeah,
sponsoring tournaments, even getting together, saying, listen, man, if y'all play slow pitch softball, right? It's how do we get our brand in the world? And so yeah, I mean, it's things like that for me. But that's just kind of, what I know, right? It would be, I
sure.
would love to have, an SPX, baseball team and maybe, take pictures and give updates. And, it's just anything we can do to pique curiosity outside of the internet. Because again, it's like we're vicious online. I mean, you got to try to not see us online, right? Like you've got to make an effort not to see us. But again, it's how do we get in front of Bob the Builder, right? Peter the Plumber, right? And I think, you know, for me, that's what I'm focusing on. It's how do we do, like these I love the live kind of shilling events we have, right? But it's how do we say, all right, let's plant a flag in this city, right? Let's say, I've got 20 Aeons that have some time, right? We have different skills. Let's say we're in, name it, Bakersfield, California, right? Okay. Why don't we plant our flag right here, and why don't we see if we can't get 20, 25, 30 businesses in one city, right? And
Yeah,
and build a model for figuring out what that looks like versus, taking our flyers and going to downtown San Antonio and just, here,
yeah,
like you're at the Vegas Strip, just pop, 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 right?
yeah,
It's how do we take a more organized approach to it,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and try to model that.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I like that idea for sure. I'm sure somebody probably has a thought on that. I know. Are you familiar with this? Kind of related to some of the things you said. Pierre Mortefin, the windsurfing um, guy.
So, yep.
Yep, yep. So we sponsored him. He's a former windsurf world champion. I think he got second this time.
Mhm.
So that was a good example of that, and
Yes.
it was self funded, and we made that happen. So I definitely like the sports angle as well, and in different types of sports. I mean, so I think it's a great idea.
Did he win that contest? Remember we had reposted to try and
Oh,
get
I don't
him.
know yet. I don't know if it's happened yet. Or maybe if it has, I don't know.
Yeah. And see, it's like things like that, right? It's like, I don't know how many holders we have, but in my head, there's no excuse. If it's a vote, right,
Yeah,
and we have an SPX guy, it's like we need every Aon voting for him, right? It's
yeah,
like, how do we make sure that that we are really funneling our focus as a group, because that's where our strength is. It's not just, in voting for the best windsurfer. It's how do we coordinate this movement to push forward, for the betterment of the movement, right?
Yeah, I agree. That's the pitfall of decentralized. To be honest, like when you have a company, you can say do this,
Right,
and
right.
all we can do is yell about it, I guess. And it would be nice to make things more organized for sure. That's always a struggle. I think we've gotten more organized than we used to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a lot more organization that can happen, and but yeah, I totally agree. I don't know. I don't. That's a good. I think it really just takes people coming together and realizing that this is important and we need to put focus on it.
Yeah, and
And it's
yeah.
if somebody can like explain it and then it can go viral, viral in the Cognisphere and people start talking about it. That's how things bubble up. Like the conference that bubbled up, the
Mhm.
DCA culture bubbled up. We knew how important it was. Getting him to be sponsored that bubbled up, and we raised all the money, and he became sponsored. So it's like make your case almost. You have to
Right.
win the case,
Right,
basically.
right.
Like,
Right. I get, yeah. It's I guess they say what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? And so, for me as an SPX guy, I don't care, if I have to vote for the prettiest baby in the universe and I've got an A on the little, it's like, dude, I'm voting,
yeah,
It's like
agreed,
you have my vote. It's
agreed.
automatic. Like
Yes.
I don't have to read into anything at all. It's like
No.
you're on my team. I want you to win.
Yep.
Vote.
And that's also very bullish SPX and people. I mean, and that's like how this channel started, and other things have gotten popular. Is I know that you can utilize the brand to your advantage. So you can join the network, become a part of the network, and you can use it to help promote whatever you're trying to do because people will like it
Yep.
just simply because you're talking about SPX and whatever you're doing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, if somebody, I think there's I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's like advantages of putting SPX on whatever you're doing if you're an athlete or whatever it may be that like if maybe you're trying to start a social media page to promote maybe you're uh, trying to become a professional tennis player. Maybe you're not quite there and you're like amateur
Mhm.
level and you really want to get your social media presence up. Becoming aligned with SPX would help with that. And maybe that
Yeah.
helps you get looked at. I'm just making up stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Some kind of
Yeah.
example like that.
Well, and I guess this kind of expands when we start, you know, when we start getting into these like smaller businesses, right?
Yep.
It's kind of the same idea. And I know Jesse touched on it a little bit, right? But if the idea is that you have these smaller businesses that are aligning themselves with SPX or taking SPX payments, right? It's as a community, again, it's they're supporting us, right? It's we need to make sure we're supporting them,
Yep.
because I think if we have that, then we have what we really have is the biggest digital marketing firm known to man.
Hmm.
That where if I support, Chad's barbecue, right?
Sure.
And the Cognisphere supports Chad's barbecue, and you're over there and you're making your videos and you're doing the things that are giving back to the Cognisphere as well. How are you not the most popular barbecue spot in Memphis?
Right.
Right? Like, and the way that we can do it as a group is it takes very minimal effort for the individual, but collectively it is a massive,
Yes.
massive marketing tool.
Yes.
Um, and yeah.
And I think the cool thing is the more you're in the community, the more influence you have, if you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
there's if you have an idea or if you see somebody say something that maybe somebody in Memphis starts tweeting or posting about SPX and is like, I'm gonna make SPX part of my barbecue or whatever.
Mhm.
Showing, make a video about it, say this is super important. We just, go crazy on it. That will help rally people. That's the only
Mhm.
thing I think to do it. It's like
Yeah.
rally people as hard as you can
Yeah.
if you see something like that.
Mhm.
And for other
Yeah.
people, if they see something that's how I felt with Pierre and the windsurfing thing. I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. We were talking about raising funds, and I was like, well, I want to make sure this is legit because I mean I'm still a skeptical person.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
still skeptical about giving money. I don't just give money to
Yeah.
anything. So I was like, so I brought T Dog on who helped, coordinate that. And I was like, okay, explain it, go through it. How's this going to work? Da, da, da. He went through it, and I was like, it made me feel way better. I gave money to it. I gave my full support to it. It happened. I'm not saying I'm the reason why it happened, but it definitely helped me, and I think it helped some other people, and it at least helped.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah. It's like how do we model that over and over and over? Because
yeah.
yeah, it's exposure like that, especially, in the post celebrity pumping crypto, right? Like, there was those, few years where it was like every celebrity was pumping this and that or
Yeah.
this exchange, right? And the bottom the floor fell out from underneath them, right? So
Yes.
how do you rebuild that brand value without the big brand athletes, right?
Right.
Because they're not touching it, with a 10-foot stick anymore. And so yeah, I think the more organic route, yeah, it's from the bottom
Yeah,
up.
because
And I think
if you paid somebody to sponsor it, that would give you a nice little hit, but it
mhm,
may not keep people in. You know what I mean? So it's like it'd be
yeah.
nice because you get more eyeballs, but is that going to last? That's the only thing. But
Yeah.
the other thing I was thinking of, if a celebrity gets wise to this, say a basketball star or something like that, gets wise to SPX and learns it. I wish Scottie Pippen would because he's all into crypto. I wished he would.
Yeah.
I wish he would take a deep dive into this. He could be like the fucking Michael Jordan of SPX. He'd be our.
Yeah.
He'd be our like.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, let's do it.
hey, we'll get a three-way with him and Satoshi apparently.
Yeah. We'll believe you. We'll believe you on that one.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see that video where he's saying that in front of Sailor and Sailor's like,
I don't know. I think Scotty had smoked a little bit before he did that interview, but
yeah,
but, but no, like for example, Scottie Pippen. If he started talking about SPX, we would support him and make him like, oh my god, we would rate everything he ever did, and we would be crazy about it. But here's the other thing: if say he bought some, when you start talking about it and getting interested in it, somebody of his stature, he would move the price. So it would, but we would want to make sure that he would. It's like a catch-22. We want people like if Scotty really believed it and really wanted it, really understood it. I would love for him to be a part of it. If he was just saying it just to pump his bag to dump on people, I don't want him part of it.
right.
So it's like it's tough.
The double-edged sword.
I don't want somebody just to talk about it and then sell it immediately. That's not a good look for anybody. And it's just, I would
Yeah,
love for a celebrity to get involved who actually understood it. That would be amazing. And I think that'll come eventually, but it's just gonna take time. I mean, hell, Bitcoin doesn't have too many, really. There's a
yeah,
few.
yeah. And it's funny though. It's like those stories are starting to come out. I forget the one specifically, but there was this pro athlete a couple years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, who took his whole contract in Bitcoin, right? And
Yeah.
everyone kind of forgot
Yep.
about it. But now he's looking like an absolute genius.
Hmm.
I know I watched this documentary a couple days ago, Nipsey Hussle. I didn't realize that Nipsey was huge into Bitcoin, and this is like 7, 8 years ago. And I mean,
Interesting.
he's a famous rapper, right?
Right.
And so I think you know I think us being a version of Bitcoin, right? The gold versus the soul, right? Tokenized soul versus
Sure.
tokenized gold, right? It's yeah. I just think there's going to be this learning curve. I think because it's like I forget whose profile it is, but it's basically SPX or Bitcoin. Everything else is vaporware, right? Like
Maddox is.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and yeah, shout out to Maddox too. That guy's an absolute animal. Um, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's funny, and you know what? I think you know it's almost cool just being more organic. It's like it's almost like if you did pay somebody, if you did have one of these, it's like man, You know, it's like these A-list actors that like, you know, in the 90s they were making movies like, you know, Good Will Hunting and stuff like Forrest Gump, and now they're freaking, you know, selling, you know, gold bonds on Fox News, right? It's kind of like it's like I don't know, man. I don't know if
Yeah.
I believe you that much, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'll take the organic approach, you know.
Right. But I was gonna say, if you are an Aeon listening and you have like avenues to talk to a celebrity or someone like that, that would be a good opportunity to try to really teach them about it.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, if you
I
have, if you're
think
close to any of that, that'd be because if I would love celebrities to be a part of it if they actually understood it, I would
yeah.
love that. But
And it's like, you know, I think we talked about this, you know, a little bit earlier, but it's just, it's easy to understand.
yeah,
It's easy to understand, you know, and I think that, you know, us removing the bells and whistles and the technology and
mm,
it's just easy to understand, you
yep,
know. And so yeah, shout out professional athletes. Get in touch. I'll tell you all about SPX. I'll explain it from layman to layman.
yeah. There you go. There you go. That's yeah. I think it's just it's really it's a matter of time and it's like growing pains, I guess. But it's it's gonna be good
Were
though.
you in Bitcoin early? Have you been in Bitcoin for a while?
I've been in for 5 years,
Okay.
so not early. I would say, but I mean not late, I guess, but not I wouldn't say it early. No,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's I guess I don't really have a basis to kind of know like what the evolution looked like, you know?
I do have a good understanding of it though because I heard about it in 2012, and I was in college at the time, and I was like looking into it. I thought it was really interesting. Like I remember reading the forums. People were talking about it's going to be like gold. It's going to be the money of the world. All this stuff, and I just thought they were insane. That was
Uh-huh.
about like you're out of your fucking mind.
Yep,
They're
yep.
never going to let you do this. The government's going to crush it. Blah 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 blah. Well, 2013 it hits like $1,000. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I bought into the pump and dump narratives. Oh, it's just a pump and dump because then it crashed to $200. And you're like, oh, this is just
Mhm.
bullshit. I just kept passing up on it, but I did kind of follow it to a degree, so I do have a somewhat of a decent understanding. But back in 2012, it was like it was crazy. It was just like that's what crazy people do, and like that's what crazy like smart like kind of weird cypherpunks or criminals use. And
Yeah.
that was and the other big one was like it's just magical internet money, ha ha ha. It was a joke. It was literally
Mhm.
a joke.
Yep, yep. You
Literally.
know, it's so funny. It's like you know, as I've listened to kind of a bunch of the you know dudes in the Cognisphere, it's like there seems to be this current of you know, it's like these realizations on you know hallucinogens, right? I've heard this you know a lot, right?
Hmm.
And and it's funny because it almost feels like you do have to be out there. It's like you know, you know, Bitcoin was so foreign. It was
Yep.
everything you said. It's like what's wild is once you've kind of had those experiences, you realize it's like you're either moving dirt in this world or it's Fugazi. Like once you realize that everything's made up, everything's just belief.
Yep.
Like gold's no more valuable than a rock to an ape.
Right.
It makes it make more sense, right?
Yep.
It's like everything's just you know numbers on screens, and it's all Fugazi, right? And
Right.
so once you realize, wait a minute, we'll just create our own reality, right? That's what makes this where it's just so thought provoking.
Yeah, and you have to think about it. If so now we have an understanding. Bitcoin's already quite big. It'll probably keep doing well, but it's quite big. But you want to be a part of something early. What are
Hmm.
you going to choose? Are you going to choose the coin that's talking about schizo crazy shit, like just wacky? Like, what are the belief systems of each particular coin? We have the best one. It's all about promoting being good and kind, and
Yep.
those core beliefs, and having fun and enjoying the social network. It's there's nothing negative to it. It's just
Hmm.
about being positive and helping each other. So it's got the best belief system of any of these coins. Who we understand the reality. We don't see the utility coins. We think it's all bullshit, like Bitcoiners do as well. But if you have that understanding, you're looking at meme coins essentially. Which one's the best meme coin at that point? Clearly, SPX is. I mean, it just
Yeah.
once you've learned about it, it's gonna hit you eventually. And you can realize, oh, this is the best one.
Yeah. And I'll even go further than that. It's like, you know, kind of the nihilistic, right? Being a nihilist, right? I mean, that was me, man, right?
Sure.
It's like, I've lived a life to where, yeah, right? It's like it's very easy to understand that you can believe one or two things. You can believe that nothing matters, right? Or you can believe every single thing matters, and they're both true, right?
Sure.
And and I was at that point where I had blown it out, right? I burnt the candle at both ends, dude, for 20 years, right?
Mm,
And had nothing but fun memories to show for it. And I found myself in this kind of like, oh shit, like that doesn't make me happy, right?
sure.
I know money doesn't make me happy, and it's just kind of like, man, like what is there? Right? It's like I've always been skeptical of religion, right? And I really found this to be a replacement for that, like truly give purpose,
Yeah.
and a reason to get up out of bed. I mean,
That's amazing. Yeah.
and it's so funny because it's like, dude, like I said, I never in a million years. I'm not one of these, I'm a very social person in life, right?
Sure.
I've never been like a chat room kind of guy ever.
Yeah.
And I realized though, it's like, man, like just messing around. It's like, dude, this community makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And it's like, I haven't felt that. I haven't felt that from any other community, in person, in real life, let alone the internet.
Yeah.
It's like the Cognisphere almost feels more real, right? And like there's more loyalty and more friendship and more goodwill than any network that, I've been in my life, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And that's amazing to hear you say that. And I think a lot of people have had the same experience. It does. I've said this before since I've started interviewing people and really getting into it, which was like in June is when I really started getting into it. I would say it's definitely made me like a less judgmental person. It's made me just having fun and enjoying it, and definitely gives you a sense of purpose as well. Kind of what you said. So I think that's a big thing. And if it makes you a better person, it gives you enjoyment. It gives you something to look forward to do. That's massive.
yeah, yeah, I agree 1,000%. And it's like, like you said, it makes you want to be a good person. I almost feel like it's funny. It's like, man, I'm a degen, asshole, right? I mean, it's just like you know, and man, the only internet, conversation I ever had is just going back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And just, and I've realized it's like SPX 6900 jumping into this Cognisphere, right? It's almost like a fresh slate. It's almost like being baptized. We're like, you know what? Like this is my community now, right?
No,
And
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm gonna create myself as a nice, caring individual, which I am, right? But I'm
Yeah.
also an asshole,
Yeah.
And it's like SPX has that way of being like, no, no, sit down, right? We don't talk back to rude people, and it's like, like all right, I'll go back in my cage.
No, that's amazing. Yeah. No, and I think yeah, we're all glad you're here. I know when I first saw you started like popping up, you had like the pirate costume. Like that's the first video I saw of you, which I thought was amazing, by the way. And then it just yeah, you're just this your content's been great. I mean, it's seriously awesome.
I appreciate it, man. I don't know how many beers I can chug, dude. I'm like, God bless. I
Well, even I mean, all your videos are good, but the beer ones are funny. I mean, for sure.
yeah, yeah. I go I try to keep it lighthearted, man, but
Yeah.
there's definitely yeah, definitely some future plans, man, other than chugging beer for the Cognisphere, which
Hey, well, that's great. I mean, if all you did was chug beer and had fun, that would be great. But if you got more plans, even better.
yeah.
You'd be a valuable addition to the team. Either way.
I definitely appreciate that, man. It's really just been a blast.
Yeah.
And I think what's so funny, dude, it's just starting. Like I'm here, man. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like I swallowed the pill. I'm like, what's going to happen to me is going to happen to me, but I already ate the pill. So we're just going to see where it goes, you know?
That's exactly right. That's what I told somebody. I said, I believe 100% it's going to do well. I don't know when it's going to take off price wise, but I know I believe it deeply within. Worst case scenario, I look like a fool and I had a blast doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, like I've never bet on something and lost.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
right.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah, the casino pit bosses don't hang out with me in between beats either, you know? So this it's definitely better than a casino.
But I think that's a good thing too, because a lot of us have a high risk tolerance who are in it now, so we're used to taking high risk. So we have diamond hands. Is my point.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we've held something to zero. We're fucking insane.
I've held something to zero 1,000 times.
So we're willing to be diamond handed, and
Mhm.
but we bought into these core ideas that have changed us and made us more. It's gonna be awesome to play out. It's so obvious to me.
Yeah,
The
no,
more
you know what's so funny, and it's like I have to, I always have to remind myself, right? It's like these crazy ideas, right? It's like, dude, that's crazy. It's like, dude, every idea ever worth a shit has been crazy on its face to begin with.
oh yeah.
I mean, from an automobile to an airplane to the internet to phones, satellites, it's all batshit crazy ideas until that rocket ship starts taking off,
People
right?
see, people witness how
Mhm.
amazing it is. People start to
Yeah,
see it, dude.
yeah.
I had a quick little electricity back in the day. Whenever they started getting electricity to houses, that was deemed as evil. Like it will shock you and kill you. And it was like horrible. There's all this propaganda against it.
Mhm.
So even something as simple as electricity, people hate it on. So it's just here we are.
Yeah, and it's so funny too, man. I literally I feel like I'm just like a Bible door-to-door salesman, right? It's like I just know. Like I'm not even it's like the spirit's gotten into me, dude, and you can't tell me otherwise. I just like I just know, dude. And it's like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
needed to
like,
be in Miami. You and 1% going at it. Oh God, that would have been great. You and Nick and 1% and Girl Ape, y'all would have. Oh, yeah, that y'all are the best salesmen we got. I think at this point.
oh, dude, it's like I said. I mean, bro, it's like selling water in the desert. I mean, what are you talking about? It's just it's literally that obvious. And again, trust me, there's people that are very close to me in my life, my real life,
Yeah,
that think I'm fucking batshit crazy, and it's like it's okay, it's fine. They can think that, right? But I'll name my yacht after him one day, right?
I love that. Yeah, yep, yep. I mean, my family doesn't think I'm crazy. They think it's a little eccentric, but they're cool with it. But they do think it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
wacko. But
It's like yeah, me trying to show my mom and dad who are in their 60s, right? Like this kind of like anime SPX, like and it's like, dude, you think you think you think I'm like a caveman. It's like, it's like, oh look how cool this is. And it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's a bunch of flashing lights and stuff. It's like, yeah, all right.
now you can show them the conference footage for people hanging out and doing stuff. We got to keep making it real. That's what we're
Yeah.
doing. You're doing a good job of that, and we just got to keep doing that.
Yeah, I think you know what it is, man. It's like the match has already been lit. Like I
Yes.
really believe that, and
Yes.
again, you've been. I mean, you're literally top of the top right now, right? And it's like, but it's these conversations. It's ping ponging ideas,
Yep.
right? It's
Yep.
like it's I hope if anyone in the Cognisphere, if you have any ideas, right? I'm an open like literally call me, right? Like I think anyone that hears this, it's like whether it's talking about SPX, whether it's pumping other ideas, life stuff, like I like literally, it's like I'm here, right? And
Right.
and I think it's so valuable to have such a collective, such a decentralized collection of brains that
Yep.
are working on this project with different strengths and
Yeah.
different abilities. I mean, it's really incredible to see.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And I think some people. It's easy to think like it's easy to try to. It's like you see the end goal and you're trying to think how to get there, and it's like it seems hard, but it's just like it's just gonna play out. You just gotta
Right.
let it's shit's gonna play out. Do what you can. The shit will play out. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna take time. It's really a time thing, and because as it grows, we get wealthier too. We can do cooler and cooler shit, and there'll be more and more people involved. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we were twice the price right now, more than twice, in a year ago, and we had none of this, zero of this, but we had a good market. So what happens when we have a good market when we're 5, 10x the community? You know,
Oh, it's rocket fuel. That's I mean rocket fuel.
yeah,
And it's there's only gonna be more and more and more people with just normal type content,
yep,
right?
yep,
And again, I know we're really good at the the AI generated all that stuff. But I think just man, like the Miami
yeah,
event, that's going to be so big. And
yes,
I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it plays out. But
yeah,
like I said, it's one of those things, man. I just know. Can't tell me
yeah,
other. I just know. It's just the beginning.
yep, yep. It's gonna compound, and it'll be obvious in hindsight, I believe. And people will be
I
like,
think the same thing. Yeah, I do too. Of course, of course. It's like, yeah, no,
"Oops,
it, yeah,
missed out."
yeah, yeah.
I can't wait. The people, if I'm gonna rub it into anybody's face, it's gonna be the crypto bros. That's what I want to rub it into the most, because they're looking at it the whole time, and you
Yeah.
just refuse to even look into it. Really, you're just like,
Hmm.
oh, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Which is funny. I guess. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
I
That's
think it's
funny
because
to me.
most of them don't actually understand what is useful about crypto. They don't actually
Yeah.
get it. They think it's a product or utility or whatever. They don't even understand it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not any of that shit.
no, 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 no. It's funny. I think, we kind of talk about, where it's gonna go, right? It's like, the other idea, that I thought of, it's like I believe we'll have like Aon approved, like I know we have kind of the stickers,
We're
Aon
starting
approved
that.
business,
Yeah.
right? But it's to where like, in essence, we're basically a network in a network. It's like we're a Facebook in a Facebook, right? And as that scales and as that gets bigger and as, reviews are getting, I just think it'll be like again, it's like an in-network type deal
Yeah.
where it'll just be more and more, more and more.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Um, anyone you want to shout out?
Oh man, Murad, obviously start up top. Maddox with your DCA, you're a beast. 1%. I mean, I've talked about with Dr. Jesse, of course. Nick up there having some fun on the East Coast. Man, but everybody I haven't talked to.
Yeah.
Again, I love communicating with you guys. I love ping ponging ideas. And I welcome, anybody, please. I want to grow my behind the scenes network.
Awesome.
Again, I know we're decentralized, but I'm trying to figure out what
Yeah.
we can do as kind of networks within our network.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
yeah, I would love for all Aeons to reach out and say what's up and collab on some stuff. I just think that two brains are better than one, and 230,000 brains are definitely better than one. So I think we need to push that as much as we can.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Any final thoughts? Or actually, how bullish are you? I think you kind of gone over
Oh,
this.
bro, I like bullish enough to where I don't have 1 cent in any other cryptocurrency.
There you
Like
go.
bullish enough to where I don't even bet sports anymore because
Nice.
I just put money in SPX, right?
Dude, I love that, man.
Yeah, I mean because it's just like I
It's so
believe.
cheap. There's such an opportunity here. It's going to pay off. You have a better chance. It is going to pay off way harder. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
trust me. Took me 20 years to realize you're not going to beat a table, dude. Right? But it's
Yeah.
like it's
You got fun at a
uh
table, at least.
trust me. I that 10,000 hour rule. I promise you, I've sat at a poker table for 10,000 hours, dude.
Amazing.
But I
Yeah.
still can't say. Yeah, I still can't say I'm an expert though, unfortunately. Um, but I'm really appreciative of you for having me on. Keep up the great work. I know you're doing stuff behind the scenes, and I know the community appreciates it. Cognisphere, keep it up. There is no price, there is no chart, and we're gonna win. and we're gonna win. I
Yep.
can't be I can't be more bullish on this project because I can't be more bullish on a group of people. And I
Yep.
think that's the thing is we are the asset, and we need to remember that. And each and every Aeon of the Cognisphere, each and every onboard we can get, supporting people that are trying to do stuff for the Cognisphere, right? Supporting Jordan, and guys that are trying to do things within the Cognisphere, because we need to try to do our best to keep our money in our network
Yep.
any way we can. It's like every dollar that we spend on a 500 company, right, is a dollar we're giving them. That's
Yep.
gunpowder we're giving them. And I think over time, I think we're going to figure out, okay, how can we become our own Amazon?
Right.
And between now and then, there's going to be a lot of time, but there's going to be a lot of good times. And I'll be chugging beers. I'll be tapping into the Cognisphere, and I'll be here for you guys.
Amazing, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on. It was a blast to talk to you, and I'm glad we did it. I'm gonna have Unc's X account below. Please follow him for amazing content. And yeah, we appreciate it. Until next time, persist forever.